Welcome back to the Reset episode 35 with me, Sean Tucker. Today I had the brilliant privilege to be part of a container, and we're doing a breathwork healing immersion, and something we did today, which was a 30-minute challenge in a group. It was a group challenge, and there were pretty simple rules. The idea was to choose a charity. We had $10. We started with $10. Choose a charity and see if we can make money or fundraise towards going to that charity using that $10 we had. We couldn't use our own money, so we couldn't donate our own money to the charity. But what we could do is use that $10 to go and basically make more money. So we were in this group, we were thrown into the breakout rooms in Zoom, and the idea was to basically use those 30 minutes to create as much abundance as we could. And it was interesting to watch what happened next, because straight away, me being me, I was like, well, I'm just going to take a screenshot of the task, and I'm going to pop it into the AI, and I'm going to ask it to spin me up some ideas about what to do. And so I did. I threw it into AI and I was like, boom, there we go. We've got some ideas, got the creative juices flowing. And one of the suggestions I said was, well, who here knows a service run business who could maybe benefit from having 8 5-star reviews on their Google page? Straight up, one of the guys in my group said, yeah, I'll give someone a call. I'll give this guy a call. There's this ice cream place. It's awesome. Me and my wife go there frequently. Let me just call up and find out. So he gets on the phone, calls, and yeah, the guy on the other end said, look, mate, I would love to donate $50 to that charity. And right now it's just not a great time. We've just spent our money, our extra cash on an air hockey machine. So we haven't got any available cash, I'm afraid. So anyway, the guy who set out his mission to call that ice cream shop owner came back to the room and said, look, unfortunately it didn't work out. So anyone got any other ideas to get the ball rolling and start making some money, because time was ticking, right? Because we only had 30 minutes to do this. So after this moment, we all said, all right, let's just go and see if we can collect our own money with our own network and own communities that we have. So I sat there and I was like, oh, looking at my phone, scrolling through, who can I call? Who can I call? Who can I call? All right, I'm just going to put some messages here, which was a couple of WhatsApp communities. I'm going to put some messages there. I'm going to send some voice messages to some friends, and I'm going to see if anyone answers the phone when I dial. No one answered the phone, which is okay. And the voice messages that were delivered, the people that I sent it to, they were more than happy to help, but it was after the 30 minutes. So it was counting down. There was probably 1 minute left, and someone I saw in my WhatsApp group community post that I made, they said, I'd love to help out. Send me your BSB and account. Boop, 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 boop. Sent it over, and then I was waiting, anxiously waiting, because the timer was ticking. We were rolling back into the main room, and saw the notification on my phone. Someone transferred me $50 to go to this charity, because one of the, I guess, things going into the challenge was that if we made $100 or more, that would be doubled basically by the coach who's running the weekend. So they would donate an extra $100 to that charity. So we came back to the main room and our group leader was calculating the total. And all in all, we made $250 in 30 minutes. We fundraised $250 in 30 minutes using the $10 that we had. So we 25x'd the amount of money that we had. And it just goes to show in so many different ways, like how we tend to overcomplicate things. If I reflect back in that challenge, I remember feeling super anxious because I felt like I was letting the team down by not getting any money from me fundraised towards the goal. And we didn't have a set limit on how much we could fundraise. It was more, let's just see how much we can fundraise in this short period of time. Time pressure was on, and it was time to really start putting the money where the mouth was, right? And I don't know, this challenge has just helped me remember a few things. The first one being, yes, the AI tools and everything you have, the social media tools that you have, fantastic. The voice messages, great. Where most of the money came from in our group, because all in all, there were two groups. All in all, from the weekend, there was $350 raised, which is fantastic. You know, the other group raised $100. We raised $250, and the group morale was huge. Getting back to the lesson that I remembered, I suppose, in that is, you know, overcomplicating it. Do the thing that bypasses all of that. The thing that made the most money in our group was actually just getting on the phone, calling the friend and saying, look, this is what I'm doing. Do you want in? Selling the vision. You know, we're aligning with a charity that someone in our group is involved in. And this is the cause. You know, so we raised $250 to this beautiful toy library. So I was just imagining these kids who maybe not as fortunate as some of the kids that, you know, even my childhood. I was reflecting back to the times at Christmas time where we were going through and opening up the presents, opening up the gifts, and just how joyful and how happy we were. And the paper crinkling and just that beautiful noise, and getting very visceral, like really feeling it in the body. Having done that, it's so much easier to get on the phone and to call someone that maybe is a good friend or maybe someone you barely know, but it's easier to put the message out there when you have your why really, really close to your heart. You know why you're doing it. So that's probably point number 2 is, so if you can bypass it, get on the phone and just call someone. If you're putting out messages into social media, the chances are very unlikely that anyone's going to see that and actually take action on it. Because how many posts in a day do you normally see scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is? I'm sure you see tens, if not hundreds, of different things happening. Like people are trying to get your attention, right? So something that is a great cause, yes, that can grab attention, but oftentimes it's only if you really know that person, you're probably not going to donate. That's just reality. And we only had 30 minutes. So for people to open up their phone, the universe would have to work really hard to make sure that that was going to happen in that time slot. So the thing to bypass it, but the most difficult thing, is to get on the phone and actually make the phone call. Because the businesses, the people that succeed in business are the ones that get on the phone and do the call. They don't get out the email lists and just send email. They might use a whole bunch of different tools. They might use email as well. But I guess my point is doing the hard thing that bypasses or short circuits that whole process. A human connecting to a real human on a phone is going to be so much more valuable than somebody receiving an email or somebody seeing a post that sounds nice, but it's just not really going to cause that same level of feeling or impact. So today's episode is all about understanding that sometimes the hardest thing we can do is to get on the phone or even just tell the truth. Getting to the real reason why. That's such a huge thing we can do for ourselves. But if we don't know why we're doing something, or if we're just doing it purely for money. So the other side of this story is I had to lead the process on how we celebrate. So I walked down memory lane and shared the story about going and finding those presents, finding those toys that we unboxed and unwrapped and played around with as kids. Because those memories we never forget. They're stored in our body. We can relive them nostalgically, right? So if you found value in today's episode, maybe it's just realizing that if you get on the phone and call that person you'd been meaning to call, or call that person and get a new client by just speaking to someone and being very real with someone, you have something of value to offer. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe it's a conversation that leads to a new client. I don't know. But if you found value in today's episode, just share it with one person. Let's grow this show organically and see where it goes. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.